Some countries have even disallowed crypto and blockchain technologies. It can be used a lot. I think it's being used a lot these days to rip people off.
Yes. Welcome back, everybody, to Altcoin Daily, where you subscribe for one video per day demystifying this cryptocurrency market. My name's Austin. Steve Wozniak, Apple co-founder and tech legend, just made a bold prediction on cryptocurrency, and in today's video, that's exactly what I want to share with you. Now, this was on a recent episode of Stevo-O's podcast. I will leave a full link down below. Check it out. But in this episode, Steve Wozniak talks NFTs, he talks crypto scams, he talks where he sees Bitcoin headed in the near future. But just for some background, some of you OGs may remember this. Steve Wozniak actually launched his own cryptocurrency, WOZX, about 2 years ago. Whatever happened to this? It was on the Ethereum blockchain. It had something to do with increasing energy efficiency for businesses. Can we get an update? Well, listen to this first clip of Steve Wozniak explaining where the WOZX token came from and what the update is today. Watch this.
So that was Fusion.io. Now, more recently, there was a group that approached me, and what they do is they look at ways you can make electricity costs more efficient. Go into a big company, a big factory, and change lights and change air conditioners and do other things and make it use less electricity. And then they would collect a portion of the savings, but they would have to finance it themselves. They'd have to go in, do all the installations of the materials, and they were making tens and hundreds of millions of dollars a year for like 6 years. This is an ongoing successful company that has a formula. They're real people. And crypto was starting up. And I talked to them for 2 years. It took them to talk me into joining them, as I liked what they did. But what they made it really interesting. We're going to have a crypto coin on an exchange. They wound up naming it WOZX, and it's on an exchange in Malta and a couple other places. And then people can buy in, and the blockchain tracks everything from turning on a light switch to all the costs involved in the savings, and you get part of the savings right in the blockchain. You as the investor in it, and it's called F-Force. EFFORCE, and I really love what it's all about. It's all about energy efficiency. I was about that my whole life.
Interesting. So I guess the token is still going strong. I guess they're still implementing. I'm not invested, but please feel free to let me know down below if you like the WOZX token and why. And let's keep moving. What is this bold claim by Steve Wozniak? Listen to him talk NFTs, cryptocurrency scams, and why he sees Bitcoin headed to at least $100,000 in the future. This is about a 4-minute clip. Watch this.
I sold an NFT at one point, and people were getting mad at me. They were barking at me about energy being wasted with the NFT. So is this energy saving solution?
Well, even Bitcoin, gold of all, it's only mathematical. No human can control Bitcoin and the amounts of it and everything. That's it takes a lot of energy to mine it, to keep Bitcoin, to keep these all the cyber currencies and NFTs going. But it costs an amount of energy for whatever anything is worth.
Right.
Because the costs, the economy, 3 E's. The economy equals the energy used equals the emissions, meaning pollution. Okay, and that's a formula you'll never hear anywhere else. Sounds as easy as E equals MC squared from Einstein, right? It's that easy. The global economy, GNP say, equals the amount of energy that was used. If you double one, you double the other. And that equals the amount of pollution that we get. Double the energy, you'll double the pollution. The only way to really solve this climate problem is take our lives way back down in economy. Take them way back down. So I don't buy into a lot of people thinking do this one little step, buy an electric car or get a solar panel, that it actually makes any difference at all. It could actually go the opposite way, just like the Bitcoin mining. But everything we got in life, a house, a car, this RV is beautiful.
Do you think the world's going towards crypto, or you think we'll always stick with fiat currency?
It's hard to erase things that humans have learned and can put into books, methods of doing it. Some countries have even disallowed crypto and blockchain technologies. It can be used a lot. I think it's being used a lot these days to rip people off. I'll start a crypto, I'll hire an engineer that knows how to create it, and I'll get a celebrity to back it up, and we'll put out the Kim coin, Kim Kardashian or something like that. That's probably a bad example, but
It's a great example.
That's a great example.
It is?
It's a really good one.
Okay, because I don't do social web, so I don't really know the names to use. But we'll call, and I see that happening all the time. And then the founders that started it pull off some millions of dollars right away from investors that say, I want to get in quick and early when it's young because it's going to grow like Bitcoin. I'll make $1 billion out of pennies. And they jump in, and then it goes to zero. That's the common story. It's not the only story. There's some others that have made it for a while for some good reasons. Yeah, so I'm kind of NFTs fall into that category too. The number of people getting ripped off on crypto and NFTs is just outrageous. Now Bitcoin is safe because it's the big elephant on the block. It's stable.
Right.
Like conservative thinking, you go for the big ones and they'll be around. And yeah, Bitcoin is
So you
stable. So I don't invest.
you don't invest.
I have never invested in stock in my life. I've never used Apple's stock app on the iPhone. Never. Because why? It goes to my happiness formula. I found that my head gets to a peaceful spot where it's not worrying about everything being up and down, up and down, up and down like day traders. I had day
Right.
traders around me, and I watched what they went through, and I just turn the other way. I don't read any financial papers. I don't
Right.
want to be, I don't want that to affect my life, so I never invested in stocks. Bitcoin, I bought a bunch of Bitcoin at the start to say, how do you play with this new thing? How do you buy something online? And I conquered that. And how do you buy things in other countries? And how would you even pay for like a donut in another country? Mm-hmm. How can you find an ATM that works on your Bitcoin? And I wanted to experiment and learn it all. And then Bitcoin went way up. Well, I got scared and I sold all my Bitcoin except one Bitcoin. That's not my purpose, is to have enough to play with and experiment with, but not to make money on. And 2 times it's gone way up and made money. And just recently, I think Bitcoin is going to go to 100,000. I just, I don't know where you get that feeling. I can't put any mathematics to it. I just really feel it from all of the interest. Mm-hmm. The interest in crypto is so high. And so I put a bunch of money into an online wallet account, Coinbase, and pretty much it's sitting right where it was right now. Went way up, it doubled, and then it halved again, and but that's not my way in life. That's not important to me.
When you had a ton of money.
All right. Very interesting. Steve Wozniak saying that he's not really into most NFTs, most of cryptocurrency, because of how many scams there are out there, but he is into Bitcoin. Now, I would also guess that he's probably into Ethereum too, in some sense, since his coin is built off the Ethereum network. But this is a big green flag for me, only because Steve Wozniak, obviously a huge part of the come up of the internet age, obviously had huge foresight into that technology, and now he's saying yes to Bitcoin, yes to this cryptocurrency space in general, with a $100,000 Bitcoin inevitable, in his opinion, just based on the community, just based on the passion of the people who hold. Give me your thoughts on this down below. Seriously, I'd love to know your take, but let's keep moving. The final thing I want to share with you in today's video is a pretty major update on XRP, on the SEC versus Ripple. But first, in 60 seconds or less, please allow me to give a big shout out to sponsor of the channel, BlockFi. Introducing the BlockFi Rewards Visa Signature Credit Card. Earn an unlimited 1.5% back in Bitcoin on every single purchase. And what makes this card different is with this card, there is no annual fee, which I like. There are no foreign transaction fees, which I love. And you can see if you're pre-approved with no impact to your credit. There's a link down below. That's blockfi.com/altcoindailycc. Link down below. And if you sign up right now today, you can earn 3.5% back in Bitcoin during your first 3 months on every single purchase. Card holders have already earned over 120 Bitcoin in credit card rewards in just the last 60 days. So why not? If you're in the US, why not earn some Bitcoin back on purchases? Link down below right now. Check it out. Okay, what is the latest update on XRP? XRP soars 10% yesterday after critical update in legal battle. This is what you should know. According to a document filed with a court in the Southern District of New York, the district judge will allow the company, Ripple, to use a fair notice defense. In other words, Ripple will be able to argue in its favor that the regulator, the SEC, failed to inform them that XRP and their public sale could potentially violate the law. As previously reported by Bitcoinist, the payments company claims it asked the SEC about its token offering. So Brad Garlinghouse had always been pretty clear, again, and this was his story, that they had been in the SEC's office multiple times. They had always been in contact with the SEC, and the SEC had said nothing before, during, or after their token offering, Ripple's. Now, was that true? Was that not true? It was a sort of a case of he said, they said. Well, the federal district judge has granted in favor of Ripple. In support of Ripple's defense, there are records of 2 separate reports from legal firm Perkins Coie on the legality of the company's token offering, meaning they have some evidence. They have some reports to back it up. In a direct quote from the legal counsel of Ripple, today's order makes it clear there's a serious question whether the SEC ever provided Ripple with fair notice that its distribution of XRP since 2013 would ever be prohibited under securities law. Good to see the judge rejecting the SEC's attempt to prevent Ripple from pursuing its fair notice defense. It's even more imperative that the sun sets on the SEC's regulation by enforcement approach. So, to sum this up, this is a positive sign for Ripple. It doesn't necessarily mean that they're going to win the case. They still have many bridges to cross, but this does mean that Ripple's defense just got stronger. So, we will see. I will keep you updated as this case unfolds. And that's the video. My name's Austin. Like always, see you tomorrow. I'll be hanging with some old college buddies this week. They came to Los Angeles, came in town from out of state. So I'll be hanging with some friends. Hopefully you will be too. But either way, see you tomorrow.